Hi juniors, Clara and I are coming to you to help you with the conclusion to your paper and to talk briefly about your works cited and attribution. So let's start with the works cited. First of all, you don't need to include everything from your annotated bibliography on your final works cited. Just include those citations that you actually ended up using in the paper. So if you have pieces of research that you didn't use, remove them from your bibliography before you go and turn the paper in. So second thing is the header for your paper. So let's go in real quick. So this is actually your workshop. I'm sending it to you. This is what you can fill out to make sure that you're ready to turn in. But what I was going to tell you is how to do your header in MLA. So that's going to just be your name, first and last, and then English 3. Then this essay, which would be the American Influence essay. And then the date. Whatever day you turn it in or finish it is good by me. So today would be the 8th of May. Okay, and that's it. Then you just enter down, center it, and go ahead and put a title. Clever titles are always appreciated. This is a Shakespeare play, but you get the idea, right? Clever titles, always appreciated. Okay, Clara, stop. Center that, enter down, and then you're ready to begin. If you want to set your indention, you'll hit View, and then make sure you click your ruler. You want your ruler. And then, here, you can change it. Okay. So then you'll set your hanging indent or your first line indent, which is where you put the top part of this little triangle hourglass thing there, and that's going to indent all your paragraphs for you. Okay. Another thing, hit Control All in your document, right click, hit paragraph. Make sure everything for your spacing before and after is 0 and 0, and your line spacing is double. This is a double space paper. Okay. Now that that's formatted correctly, double click into your header, and then at the top left, it'll say header, footer, page number. Put page number, top of page, and plain number 3, that is right aligned. So we've got that right aligned, and I'll put my name in front of it. And that's going to go wherever you need it. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? So now that we've got Super Y set on the TV, we can finish this tutorial. I'll hit share screen again. Okay, so your document is now formatted, right? You can see that it's in the right spots. You've got everything you need, that kind of thing. Remember that you use your references to create your in-text citations, right? Hit insert citation and whatever you have. Okay. Now we are back at the paper. We've got it all formatted here. Get your clever title in and everything. Now that we've done that, I should talk to you a little bit about in-text citation. So you need to give the most important information in in-text citations. So if in your attribution you say something along the lines of, according to Gil Pender, Harvard psychologist, I'm in the New York quote, then you would have your article title in your in-text citation. you go in order of the most important information. I'm going to pause here so that I can show you that, so you can see it. Okay, so here's how we can talk about our in-text citations, basically the parentheses that go after when you quote something. So you go in order of importance to determine what goes into your parentheses. So that order of importance is author's name, article title, and then publication in that order. So if you say, according to Edwin McScooter, quote, it's unprecedented, because you used his name, you would then move to the next most important piece of information, which is the article title, U.S. places embargoes, okay? So if you say, Edwin McScooter writes in the article, U.S. places embargoes, and then you go into your quote, it's unprecedented, you would move to the publication title, Time Magazine, HistoryChannel.com, etc. If you use all three pieces of that information, then you actually don't have to use an in-text citation at all. But if you have a page number, that's a good idea. Put your super credible info in your attribution. So if your author is affiliated with a university or a particular department or a professional organization, mention that in your attribution, your lead into your quote. It makes you look super credible, and it shows that your sources are really good. So highly recommend that. Last thing that I want to talk about briefly is the conclusion to this essay. And you should know that it's really super easy, super straightforward. The important thing, though, is that you are creating a synthesis. This isn't just a restatement of your thesis. This is a summation, or bringing your ideas together. So point 1 plus point 2 plus point 3 equals why this book is essential and a classic. So in my examples, I have one for the giver. It's not perfect, maybe not even necessarily an A+ one, but it's very straightforward. So The Giver will continue to have an impact on American culture because it has several adaptations that relate to many different people, like a comic book and a future movie. It also has an impact because of its relationship to an interesting historical event that's shown throughout the book. Lastly, The Giver has an impact because of the controversy due to the book. Probably begin to outline that a little bit more. The controversy was important because it showed the use of drugs and the fact that euthanasia was performed. Ultimately, The Giver changed the country because it opened many people's eyes on how bad things could be if we had a very controlling government. I believe that it is important for people to be able to be free and independent, and thanks to a miracle, that is possible for me. So that ultimately it changed the country, that actually comes from your outline. Pulling that up. So in your conclusion, you'll start by talking through your thesis, okay? And then you'll go to why the book has had an impact on American culture. And let's switch those last two, what you think after finding out more information about it. Like, it may be useful to give your opinion, but conclusions really need to be strong and reiterating your thesis. And then lastly, why it will continue to have an impact. Do you think people are going to still be reading it? How are they reading it? How are they consuming it? Are they still watching the movie? Like, what is the future of this book as a classic in American literature? Does it endure, right? So that is what you are looking to do. And even if you haven't read your book, you can guess this from the research, especially if you have an author that's been particularly significant. That's good for you. So yeah, that is how to make sure your attributions are correct, how to do the MLA header, and how to do the conclusion. So in your folders, I have placed a document called Workshop that will allow you to peer review your paper, either by yourself or with another person. You are not required to do it with another person, but I highly suggest having 1 to 2 sets of eyes on it. And then you can turn it in whenever you like. It has been a pleasure. You juniors have made online learning so much more enjoyable and interesting for me. And for that, I thank you. So I will hopefully see you next in person. And we will talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye. that's going to be the best wave we're going to get. So we will see you soon.